Greetings from the Thief. 2 days out from the 125th US Open at Oakmont. This is a little bit of a preview of the event. Longer format video than what I put out yesterday with my selections. Over 5,000 views on that already, so we're growing this channel, which is really, really good. I've been running this blog now for the last 3 years. We're into our 4th year. 3 great reasons to follow. 2022, a 58% return on our investment. 2023, 117% return on our investment. 2024, 44% return on investment. If you go to my blog site, eachwaythief.com, all of the profit and loss accounts are on there. All of my previous write-ups are on there. My write-up for this week is on there. If people don't like reading, then you can just watch me prattling on these videos week in, week out. But all the info is on there. We're having a shocking season this season, yet somehow we're still 5% return on our investment. So we're still in profit despite a pretty wretched run of results. We should have seen it coming when Brian Campbell knocked it out of bounds in Mexico at 2 trees, went back into the middle of fairway and beat Aldrich Podgiget in a playoff, which really did break me. But anyway, let's shake that off because I've got more PTSD to come when we start mentioning Cameron Young. So this week, Oakmont, probably the most seminal of all of the US Open venues, renowned for being the toughest golf course in America. We are 7,372 yards past 70 here. Gil Hans has just done a restoration to strip it back to its original design in 1903. It's taken a load of trees out since 2016 when DJ won at 4 under par. Interestingly enough, the last time it was here in 2016, there was only 4 players under par, 3 players at 1 under, DJ at 4 under, and they believe, despite the rain this week and the softer conditions for the first couple of days, that this is going to be even harder. So we're really looking forward to seeing these guys struggle. There's nothing that excites me more than watching professional tour players suffering. So yeah, that's where we're at for the beginning of the tournament. If we have a little run into our selections this week, we went first up with Xander Schauffele at 20-1. Now, Xander won twice last year in majors. He won the PGA and then he won at Troon in the Open Championship. Unfortunately, he had an intercostal tear, a really troublesome rib injury for a golfer, and that put him out for the first 2 months of the season. Despite the fact he came back for the Century and still struggled but made the cut, he then had a little bit more time off. And he's only played a handful of events and he's been way off his best. However, he is a gun player. He struggled off the tee, and that will be probably just his confidence to really let it rip. He's not putted particularly well. He's never been a particularly good putter. But we are looking this week that he's probably going to hit a few drawy 3-woods. As long as this place is, position off the tee is key. He's a really good 3-wood player and a good long iron player. And at 20-1 for a multiple winner and a major winner, I think he's a great bet this week. Next up, we've got Patrick Cantlay. Now, Patrick is one of the dullest players on tour. He is absolutely rancid to watch him piss around, especially around the greens. He takes forever, but he's a superb player. And in the second half of every season, he comes alive, and especially with the Ryder Cup coming up, his juices are going to be flowing. He's currently trending slightly, but we're seeing a lot of his B game, and his B game is getting him into position an awful lot recently. I was quite surprised to see where his putting stats were because, again, he's a pretty poor putter, but he's in front on every single strokes gains metric. So his driving strokes gained, his approach strokes gained, his tee to green strokes gained, his putting strokes gained. He's all ahead of that average mark. So he's in front on all of those metrics, and he's ball striking and his big game and everything. And the fact it's a major and it's a difficult course, his accuracy could see him there or thereabouts. He has won FedExes before. He does know how to win big events. He hasn't won a major, but at 33-1, I'm willing to take that punt on him. Next up, we've got our entire reason for profit this year. We've got Russell Henley, who won for us at 70-1 at Bay Hill. We had a pretty big investment on him that week. Henley is a gun iron player, a tremendous approach player. And aligned with that, he is a wonderful putter on fast greens, and these greens are going to be quick. They are going to be crazy quick. And Henley really is a great putter, great lag putter, great inside 6 feet. I really like him this week. He's 50-1, so there's a bit of juice in his price. But I've got a bit of a hard on for Henley this week. Maybe it's biased from what he's done for us already. But he is a superstar, and he really is made for this venue. The next detailed analysis, we'll skip over the last three very quickly, but the next bit of detailed analysis is on Cam Young. So I've made a bit of a joke about this. In 2023, if you went through all of my blog posts, Cam Young appears on probably 75% of them. I had a real hard on for him that year. He was my man, and until he somehow found a way to lose to Peter Malnati at the Valspar, I was all in on him, and he just kept coming second. No player has had more seconds on the PGA Tour without winning, and that includes Graham Dillette. So that's an incredible stat. Young just finds a way to get himself in position and then fuck it all up, and that's him all over. But, and it's a big but, what I saw last week, when he was out of position on 17 and he hacked out sideways when Ray Dow was next to him saying he can't play out of this lie, and then he got up and down for par. And then on 18, where previously, losers would take that layup approach on the par 5, he somehow decided that he was going to go for the win, and he pulled his 3-wood out. Now, he absolutely melted his 3-wood. 177 mile per hour ball speed with a 3-wood is phenomenal, let me tell you. And he drew it all over the flag, club twirl, everything. It looked amazing. And sadly for him, hit the 3-wood of his life. It went over the flag and it carried on going. And it went 15 yards over the back and into all the shit. Basically meaning he couldn't possibly win from there. But he went for it. He was balls deep. And that really showed me that mentally, I think he's got what it takes to win. It's a real change from the way he's played safe down the stretch before. Now he's 150-1 this week. He drives it well. He's putted well this season. His iron play's decent. His chipping's not always been the best, but this season his scrambling stats are pretty good. A really tough test like this will suit Cam. I mean, this guy who's come second in an Open Championship. He can contend at these big events. I really like him. He's well worth a shout. Okay, so let's just go into the last three. I've put up Victor Perez at 350-1, 6-time winner on the DP World Tour. Really good tee to green, a little bit robotic, but he's 350-1 for a reason. He's well worth a small investment. I put Joe Highsmith up, who won at PGA National this year, which is a really difficult track. Joe's a little bit scratchy tee to green. He's a great lag putter. Some players are going to be putting off these surfaces. Some players are going to be for putting these surfaces. Joe, if he can get on these surfaces in regulation or somewhere thereabouts, he's not going to make many big double bogey or worse scores. He's a really good lag putter. He's 500-1. He's won on tour, and he's a really talented left-hander, and he's got a little bit of something about him. So I like that. And last up, it's a massive Hail Mary. But after watching Trevor Cohn in the 2023 Barbasol, I actually thought, wow, this lad's got something about him. He absolutely bombed it. And I thought, he probably had the game to become an established PGA Tour player. Now he's been fucking dreadful ever since that day. But the one thing that he has done is he's entered US Open qualifying, and he qualified with ease and in amongst some really decent players. So this is a bit of a free hit for him. He's barely made a cut all season. There's so many reasons not to back him, but it's a really small investment on someone who's 2,500 to 1 this week. So he could be one of the Hail Marys that are out there. We're dragging on towards 11 minutes. It's a long video, and I know a lot of people don't really want to look at the long format, but I just wanted to give people a little bit of an outline into the work that goes into this. And everyone that knows me and knows how I run this blog and knows me as a person knows that I could prattle on for half an hour if we talked about sort of my knowledge of these courses, these players, their strike patterns, their flight, how they actually see the game, how courses fit people's eyes, how they're trending, their stats. There's a lot of work that goes into this. I'm not just pulling these out of thin air. And hopefully my return on investment numbers show people that, this isn't a fluke. There's a reason for all of this. Quick caveat, I do like Bryson this week. I think he's a reasonable price at 8 to 1. We are called the each way thief for a reason. We pick players at big prices, and we don't necessarily get too many winners, but we make profit off place money, and our winners top that up. In 2023, I had 4 consecutive winners, and then later in the season, I had another 3. Now, Hovland was 2 of those back-to-back in the playoffs. However, when we're hot, we're hot. And this is a money-making machine. This isn't about saying, look at me, I back Scotty Scheffler. Brilliant. This is about picking the pockets of the bookies. This is about making money. This isn't about looking flash on social media. So if you like free money and you like profit, then keep following me. Please like and subscribe to this channel. There's links to my YouTube channel, my Instagram, and my Facebook. I'm really trying to grow this, and as we start getting towards the 5,000-10,000 views and up in the followers, then that's going to allow me to put more content out there and put more work into it. I pay for the website myself. All of this is free. There's no subscription service. And this is industry leading. These are industry leading numbers. In fact, I don't think you will find for the last 3 years a better tipster in terms of return on investment. I'd love to know if there are better tipsters out there. Please let me know in the comments. And chuck anything, any questions in the comments. Comments are all welcome. I'll try and reply to them all as I can. Keep following. Enjoy this week. Cheers.